Howdy everyone, and welcome to TerrarAI, the Terraria Let's Play. I hope you grabbed a nice cup of water or something aquatic and are ready to sit down and watch. Enjoy!
Alright, the desert. Everyone's favorite place to be. Something about the desert that never made sense to me was, how is there sand layers within the sand? How can there be soft sand in between hard sand? And what exactly causes sand to do the things that sand does? This is a question that should be answered post haste pronto. ASAP. As soon as plausible. Anyway. I don't understand the use of decorative spears. They don't make any sense. Not spears. Spheres. 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 They don't make any sense at all. In fact, I would say they make the least amount of sense compared to anything in the world. You can put something anywhere. You can put anything on any object in any house you have. And you choose to put decorative spheres in a bowl on a table. What is wrong with you? Plastic fruit would be a better solution than said decorative spheres. I think they're dumb. I think they are pointless. I think they suck. Inarguably. They are awful. Very, very bad. Pretty gross. Other things that are gross are Quora questions. I never understand why I go to Quora to do anything. It's honestly just an awful shit show of a website. Whatever happened to Yahoo Answers, where you could ask a question and someone would respond with an answer, and then the rest would be a bunch of baloney. Nowadays, you have Quora, where you go, ask a question, say, what state did Michael Jackson come from? And then every response is some super long-winded story that has something to do with the actual question, but never enough to actually answer the question in itself. So, for example, if someone were to respond to, what state did Michael Jackson come from? It would likely have to do with something like this. Well, Michael Jackson came from quite a specific place. And a matter of fact, my uncle's father actually was able to meet Michael Jackson during a trip to Nevada one day. He doesn't live in Nevada. He was there for a concert. And he was there doing this concert. And it wasn't much of a concert, really. It was more an opening to a much more famous musician, Ted Bundy. It was a Ted Bundy concert with Michael Jackson opening. What a phenomenal opening act for such a phenomenal actor of the music variety. So, my uncle's father goes to this opening ceremony, opening act for Ted Bundy, and it's Michael, Jiminy Joe Jackson, and they cannot believe what they're seeing. They see this man on the stage singing hits like Eat It, the Weird Al parody of Michael Jackson's Beat It, and Fat, the Weird Al parody of Michael Jackson's Bad. It's a great show, and they have a great time. So much so that Michael Jackson actually goes into the crowd to listen to Ted Bundy and watch him perform. And they sit right next to, believe it or not, my uncle's father. And my uncle's father is so taken aback that he has to ask questions. He asks about his family life. Does he have any kids? Michael Jackson responds, hee hee. And it was wild. And so they liked each other enough that they actually went to go to a bar after the Ted Bundy concert. And after this concert, they went to this bar. He doesn't remember the name, but it had something to do with lucky horseshoes. And by gum, was it a lucky day to be my uncle's father, hanging out with Michael Jackson at this bar. But they go out, and they enjoy a few drinks, and they ask some more questions. And eventually, my uncle's father hits him with the hard-hitting questions that we are here to figure out today. Where did you come from, Michael Jackson? I'm really curious, because Google isn't a thing yet. And right before Michael Jackson could answer, something crazy happens. A kid rushes into the bar, screaming, "Help! Help! My father is having a heart attack! Oh God, please someone help!" And the whole scene of the bar rushes outside to see this man, 67, having a heart attack on the middle of the road. And who else goes to try and help but Michael Jim Joe Jackson himself? So Michael Jackson goes out there onto the street, pulls the man, this kid's father, out of the street, and begins to perform CPR. He was not choking, but Michael Jackson thought that was the right thing to do. And lo and behold, the CPR did not help Michael Jackson save that kid's father, which ultimately resulted in the death of that child's father. And it's really a shame when you consider the fact the ambulance was only seconds away. But since Michael Jim Joe Jackson was operating on this child's father, they figured, hey, he might know what he's doing. Let's leave him to him. Which was ultimately this child's father's downfall. So, upon failing to bring this man back to life, Michael Jim Joe Jackson, was indeed arrested for malfeasance and improper medical practice. And he went to court where he was charged and pled guilty, and he now faces a 37-year prison sentence, which is quite a downsize from the death penalty that they were offering him in return. Keep in mind, they were in Nevada, or Nevada, whichever way you want to pronounce it. It's kind of weird. I never understood why people pronounce different states different ways, but that's just how it is. And so, they never did figure out who Michael Jackson's father was. That's not the question they were asking. They asked where he was from. And Michael Jackson never got to answer that either. But if I had to guess, it's probably Nebraska. Because Nebraska is home to people who do many great things, such as be nice and sing hee-hee style. I can't do it myself. Just a lot of great people in Nebraska, so if I had to hedge my bets, I'd say he lived there. He was born there. His babies will be born there. Everything about Michael Jackson will happen in Nebraska. If not, well, what are you gonna do? But I'm confident that it is indeed Nebraska, but it might not be. So, I'm gonna take it with a grain of hee-hee. Am I right? That's a helium reference. In fact, he would say hee-hee in the songs because he was referencing that every time he'd go on stage, he'd inhale an entire balloon's worth of helium. He being the periodic abbreviation of helium. Anyway, I hope you find what you're looking for. If it's not Nebraska, that's okay. I forgive you for taking my time answering your question. See what I mean? So stupid. Quora has a problem. They let anyone answer these, even though they have these little side things showing what they are, their professions. That doesn't stop anyone from answering everyone's questions. Which leads to things like, hey, I accidentally fed a yellow jacket hornet, wasp, to my dog. Is there any advice on how to help? And then someone with a veterinarian logo thingy on the website will respond, I've been a veterinarian for 10 years, and I've seen this happen too many times. It's honestly ridiculous just how many people are feeding their dogs the wrong things, and such dangerous ones too at that. It's honestly ridiculous just how far kids are willing to go, trying to satisfy their dog's cravings in all the wrong ways. But don't worry, kid. I am an expert, and I know how to help. What you want to do first is rip apart your dog. He's gonna die. You may as well go out on your terms. Second thing is to do the autopsy. This autopsy will save your dog's life, so don't you worry. And if it doesn't save this dog's life, it will save the life of your next dog. So, you want to take the autopsy knife that every dog owner should have. If you don't, you might want to consider not getting a second dog in the future. But anyway, you're going to want to take this autopsy knife and dig it across the stomach, releasing the yellow jacket from its stomach lining. There's a chance that it was not hit with any stomach acid before it hit the stomach, so it might not be dead. It might still be flying around. In which case, you'll want to grab your wasp and hornet raid spray and deal with the problem post-haste. Once the wasp is eliminated, sew the dog back up, and then you will have your puppy brand new again. If they do not resuscitate after proper CPR with a defibrillator attachment, it is too far gone. I'm sorry for your loss. But then again, you shouldn't be feeding your dogs bees. You know this. I don't know why so many artists now come out with songs saying to eat bees. It's clearly a bad thing. Oh well. But then there will be people who respond to their question, saying, Heyo, I wish I was a dog, because then I could eat bees, just like your dog. Man, I love bees. Eat bees. Eat bees. Eat bees. Eat bees. Eat bees. And they won't even have any qualifications. So why were they even able to answer my question in the first place? It should only be handled by professionals that I'm not willing to pay. I'd rather go online to some garbage website and find an answer there. Because all veterinarians are overpaid. All doctors are overpaid. All billionaires are underpaid and should be paid more money. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. I really only care for two things in the world. Puppies and bees. And when they collide, it makes me sad. But then I remember, it's kind of funny. And I get happy again. Man, I love bees. Bees do things for the world. Like help. But who really cares about that? They just kind of look silly. If you ever eaten a bee, call the National Suicide Hotline at 1-800-2588-2300 Empire today. Or, alternatively, email 555-677-7344-244-5692-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-77-gmail.com. Or, alternatively, text to 555-5555. 555-5555.
Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of TerrarAI. I hope you all enjoyed this episode and are excited for the next episode. which will be happening right about now.